Is this thing on? Hey y'all, I'm Limata. I started using that as an intro. I don't know if it's finally stuck yet, but it's going to have to do for the time being. My name is actually Felicia Limata, but I go by my last name, and I am a 30-something-year-old figuring it all out. I like to say that I've lived many lives. On a spiritual note, I feel like I've been here, like my soul has been here like many times. We'll get into that in another video because it's a little too woo-woo for an intro. But on the other end, I say that to draw reference to just the many paths that I've walked on and experienced. I've always had a soft spot for wine and spirits. As a little girl, one of my favorite memories of my grandmother, who is like my biggest inspiration, she would just sit casually with like a glass of wine. And just the way she would sit, the way she would sip, the way she would savor, the joy that wine brought her. You know, she would just have like a glass and she would just kick it. I just thought to myself like, ugh, like I can't wait till I'm old enough to like be just like that. So wine is always called to me. And in college, I was definitely that girl with a wine glass. Like I have to find some photos. The girl with like a wine glass, a bottle of wine at the pregame. Like that was me. So finding my way in the wine industry wasn't linear. What really is a linear experience? All that to say, half as an intro, but also to give perspective to the topic of this video. I kind of was like battling back and forth about like what I wanted my first YouTube video to be about. I wanted the video concept to complement a written concept. And the written concept that I'm about to talk about is my blog. In this post, I talk about making room. I talk about making room for fear, growth, transformation, like all the things. And I use an example of a situation that happened last year, 2024, as a way to kind of give context on how making room for these things that we feel and experience can help us change our perspectives and can help us just become better versions of ourselves. In this video, kind of making it like a part 2 of that blog. If you have not read it, I recommend that you do. And I will be linking the blog post in the description box. But let's get cozy. You know, I have my ginger tea. So I'm Trini, right? And I make my ginger tea. Like I don't buy ginger tea in the store. So I get my ginger, you know, I peel my ginger, I chop it up, and it's like, it's so good. Grab your bevy, your little snacky. After this video, I'm gonna get something to eat because my stomach is like, what is going on? But also, it could be the anxiety and the nerves because I'm doing this and I'm feeling the fear and I'm doing it anyway, right? Read that blog, y'all. Read that blog. So I have some notes, right? So if it looks like I'm reading something, it's because I am. Because I wanted to make sure that what I was sharing was going to be like clear as possible. And, you know, that's just me. I'm type A, whatever. I want to talk about this big lie I believed. So for years, I believed that I had to do it all to be successful. So every project, every opportunity, every yes, I thought the more that I juggled, the more that I had on my plate, the closer I would get to this idea or this version of success. That I discovered is a lie. is a bold-faced lie, as a matter of fact, because I was drowning in my own ambition. I found comfort in being like booked and busy because it felt and looked like progress. And I want to give a little bit more attention to and looked, because we are in an era where everything is documented, everything is posted, especially when it looks like we're doing what we're saying that we're doing. I had a situation years ago, and this was probably when like Instagram was still fairly new. I went to a concert, but I didn't post it because that was still a time where we didn't feel as pressured to like post every moment. And I remember I was telling a family member about it, and she flat out told me like, well, if you didn't post it, it didn't happen. Like, she was basically calling me a liar because I didn't post something. And there was no proof. And so many things, especially so many good things, so many productive things happen in the dark where no one is seeing what is occurring. I didn't understand that then. So when she told that to me, I was hurt. And quite frankly, I was pissed off because it's like, how can you diminish this experience that I had to just a post? I think that's just something so interesting because we live in this time where it's like everything needs to be shown, and I don't really necessarily think that that's healthy. And I participate in it, and I'm slowly trying to get myself out of that, because over time it does have like consequence, it does have some effects on your mental health. I convinced myself that if I kept moving, if I kept doing, if I kept producing, I wouldn't have to face the fear of slowing down. Because to me, slowing down meant failure. Like, I'm not doing anything. That's another point. Because sometimes not doing something is hella productive. Productivity, and then you have rest. Then I hit a point where the things I loved, wine, dance, storytelling, hosting, started to feel like another task, started to feel like something else that I needed to do instead of wanting to do. And that's when I realized that the plan that I was so sure about, the plan that I set up for myself, wasn't leading me to fulfillment. If anything, it led me to burnout. So I decided to, drumroll, make room. Listen, make room is gonna stick in 2025. Trust me on that. I decided to make room, not just for rest, but for fear. I'm making room for fear, and even making this YouTube page vlog, making room for growth, for transformation, for personal evolution. It's not easy. It wasn't easy, but it's been one of the most honest things that I've ever done for myself. What I've discovered in practicing this, it has created some alignment for my work and has given me more purpose. Whether it's scaling down Rum and Lime to focus on more intentional quarterly events, or pouring my creativity into storytelling through dance and wine pairings. Overall, I feel a lighter, clearer, more direct vision to my work, and it just feels more meaningful. If you feel the weight of needing to do it all, I hope what I've shared reminds you that sometimes the bravest thing that we can do for ourselves is to just let go. It's above me now. So, what is one thing that you can make room for this year? I want you to sit with that and think about it, meditate on it, pray on it, journal about it. If you feel compelled to, if you feel inspired to, share it in the comments. Please feel free. I want this to be an open discussion. If not, that's totally fine too. Your journey is your own. It's the journey. Why did I do that? Anyway, let's talk about it. So you can have that internal discussion with yourself, or you can share it in the comments. If you also liked this video, heart it, maybe subscribe to the page. Hey, it's your world. Thank you so much for sharing space. I'll see you next time. Cheers.